Bueno, le damos la bienvenida a todas las personas que nos acompañan el día de hoy en este webinar informativo, esta vez con Carnegie Mellon University, específicamente Heinz College, en Estados Unidos. Mi nombre es Karen Martínez, hago parte del equipo de Consejería Académica y Relaciones Internacionales en Colfuturo, y el día de hoy estoy muy bien acompañada con David Deinenberg. Él nos hablará sobre cosas súper importantes para todas las personas que estén interesadas justamente en llevar a cabo un programa de posgrado en este país y en esta institución específicamente, así que aprovechen muchísimo este espacio para resolver todas las inquietudes y dudas que se les presenten en el proceso. Quiero contarle a todos que este mes de noviembre realizaremos este tipo de webinars informativos con todas las universidades de convenio que tenemos ubicadas en Estados Unidos y los Países Bajos. Así que nuevamente les reitero la invitación para que se registren en cada espacio que les suene conveniente, en el que crean que pueden aumentar aún más toda la información que tienen en la mano. Así que totalmente invitadísimos a participar en estas sesiones. Adicional, si tienen alguna inquietud, si no tienen total claridad sobre el funcionamiento del programa Crédito Beca, los invitamos a nuestras charlas el primer viernes y segundo sábado de cada mes. Entonces, en ese orden de ideas, este sábado 9 de noviembre tendremos nuestra charla del programa Crédito Beca a las 9:30 de la mañana. Adicionalmente, y ya para hacer énfasis en nuestro convenio con Carnegie Mellon, Colfuturo, en compañía con Heinz College, ofrece un descuento del 75% sobre el valor de la matrícula para máximo 5 beneficiarios de Colfuturo admitidos en programas de maestría. Tengo que aclarar en este punto que el apoyo económico establecido se presta por un periodo de 3 semestres para estudiantes admitidos en Master of Information System Management y por un periodo de 2 años académicos para estudiantes admitidos en el resto de los programas de maestría. Así que recuerdo a todos que pues este es el espacio idóneo para que resuelvan todas sus inquietudes. Nos las pueden dejar a través del cajón de Q&A y con muchísimo gusto David y yo al final de la sesión las estaremos resolviendo. Sin mayor preámbulo, David, thank you so much for being here today. We are so happy to have you with us. So you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Wonderful. Buenas noches. Me llamo David, and that's all the Spanish you get from me. Thrilled to be with you, though, and thrilled. This is probably my, I don't know now, 8th or 9th Colfutoro presentation. I've had the chance to come and visit in person on many occasions, and I was just in Bogota just about 2 months ago. So it's always a great opportunity to come visit and to connect with all of you. So I hope you're well. For today, I want to share with you a presentation about our master's degree programs. And this is our agenda for this evening. So first, we will be talking a little bit about how you can put your best foot forward in the application process. Then we'll take a deeper dive into the application process, into the degree programs that we offer, into our curriculum, and finally, we'll have some time for question and answer. As you see here on the screen, we do have a QR code. I do ask that everybody who is here online tonight, please go ahead and scan that QR code. A lot of the information that I'm going to share with you, you may not be able to remember. And so I want to make sure that I have your contact information so that I can send you details on the scholarship opportunity and our partnership with Colfutoro, the admissions requirements, and ways to connect with both our current students as well as our program directors. So please do make sure that you scan that QR code and you fill in the information form so that we can make sure to get you connected with our university. So let's dive right in. How are you going to put your best foot forward? Well, the first thing that I want to share with you is just some general information about graduate studies. You may know that you want to get a master's, but you may be wanting to focus on it for a variety of different reasons. So the very first thing that I want to do is kind of highlight why people go for a master's degree. First one being that maybe you're looking to change career paths. We offer professional master's degree programs at Carnegie Mellon's Heinz College. So this is a great way to take a deep dive into a particular area and change the focus. So a lot of the times students who are coming from one area want to pivot into a new area, and that is perfectly fine. You'll notice as we go through our presentation today that there's not one specific type of student who's required to apply. You know, with our public policy program, you don't have to have studied public policy or international affairs. You can come from a social sciences or a maths background or a technology background. So taking advantage of past backgrounds, learning new skills, and pivoting. Sometimes you're currently in a profession and you want to get to the next level within your organization. You want to become a manager, and that's where some professions will require that graduate degree. And then finally, competitive advantage, wanting to upskill yourself and increase your own marketability. But whether it's any one of these reasons, one of the things that you definitely want to remember is that when you are getting a master's degree, that you are also increasing your earning potential. And anytime you earn a master's degree, according to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, you're earning over $1 million over the course of your career. So that's a great reason to want to get a master's degree. And then finally, one of the things that you may want to think about as you are considering your master's degree is whether you want to get it right now, maybe a little bit later. Some of you have the Colfatoro scholarship. Some of you are applying for it. So knowing really when is the right time. And these are a number of questions that you may want to ask yourself as you are starting to consider. Now, you want to look at the graduate school search. And in that graduate school search, there are many types of master's degree programs that you will consider. With ours, again, they are professional master's degree programs. Sometimes you're looking at an MBA, which is different to a master's of science. There are PhD programs. There are JD, which are law degrees, MDs, which are medical degrees. You also want to consider the delivery of the degree, right? So our programs are full-time in person, similar to what Colfatoro's sponsorship programs require, but there are online degrees. There are degree programs that are a little bit more flexible, some that are a 1-year degree, some that are a 2-year degree. And then finally, you want to also consider when you're thinking about the university that you want to attend, are the factors, the size of the program. Is it a big university? Is it a really expensive university? Are there scholarship opportunities? Is there professional development opportunities? What about the location? Are there other Colombian students in that location? So these are all questions that you want to start asking yourself. And I really highly recommend that as you are starting this kind of exploratory stage for graduate studies, that you do take on advantage of note-taking. An Excel file is a great place to start kind of organizing the different universities that you're thinking about and marking information, keeping organized both the deadline dates, the questions that you've asked the university so that you have the same questions being asked across all of the different. Now, the other thing that you want to do as you're starting this exploratory stage is be involved in the admissions process. So here you are today for this information session. You should congratulate yourself for attending because that is step number 1. But make sure you go beyond that. Make sure that you are reaching out to the admissions office. You're asking for a one-on-one appointment. You're taking a tour. You're coming to the open houses. You're talking with current students or the faculty members. These interactions all are extremely important and will not only help you in putting your application together, but also making sure that you're making the right choice in terms of the school to apply to, as well as the decision whether or not you want to enroll in that degree program. So those are some things that help you put your best foot forward when you are working your way through the general graduate search. And now we'll take a deep dive into Pittsburgh, Carnegie Mellon, and the Heinz College and really give you a little bit of overview of what we offer here at CMU. So the first thing is that we are located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is a great place. Pittsburgh's many things. It's livable, it's walkable, it's affordable. It's Pittsburgh's kind of a big city in a small city feel, right? So we've got everything that it has, a large city has to offer, like New York, Chicago, LA, but just in a much smaller time frame. It's nothing like the traffic that you have in Bogota or in other parts of Colombia. It's very easy to get around, very walkable city, great public transportation. And the best thing about being at Carnegie Mellon is that we are the biggest show in town. We leverage our reputation for the benefit of our students. So for instance, we partner with the mayor on a number of projects. We work with industry partners in technology, cyber emergence response, social policy, and many other issues that are serving the greater good. So we are able to use the city as a test bed for our students' work. And also Pittsburgh is a huge cultural center, providing our arts management students with pathways for professional experience. And all of our students get to participate and enjoy the museums and the theaters around the city at student discount prices. So one of the best parts about being in a city like Pittsburgh is our low cost of living, makes a lot of your student experience even better, because that's ways that you can help save money. Now, Pittsburgh is our home, but so is CMU. CMU is located in Oakland, which is one of the neighborhoods, one of the edge of the historic neighborhoods within the university. And Oakland's actually a university hub. So we share that neighborhood with both the University of Pittsburgh and Carlow, as well as Chatham. And there are actually 7 universities within a 3-mile radius of Carnegie Mellon University. So Pittsburgh really is a student center hub. And our students and our alumni, our faculty, they come from almost every country around the world. We're a global university. We've got more than a dozen degree granting locations. Our education, our research partnerships, they span the globe. So our education philosophy combines academic and service programs to encourage students to become aware, socially responsible citizens of tomorrow's world to help them solve global and local problems. And our research is known for problem-solving nature, involving collaboration, international issues. And Carnegie Mellon's partnerships unite scholars and researchers in cutting-edge fields across the world. So this is an opportunity that you have that you don't get at many other universities. And then finally, I'd like to introduce you to Hamburg Hall, which is the home to Heinz College. It is one of the 7 colleges within CMU's campus, and our unique co-location of our 2 schools, the School of Public Policy and the School of Information, helps put our students at the intersection of 3 sciences: social, decision, and data science, with the end goal of training our alumni to work at the nexus of people, policy, and technology. So we'll take a deep dive now into our master's degree programs, so that you can get a real sense of what we offer here at Carnegie Mellon. With 2 schools under one roof, Heinz College is a center of excellence at the intersection of technology and society, and many of our faculty actually examine societal scale challenges that require expertise in policy, technology, and management. So we believe that the combination of analytics, technology, and implementation help our alumni go out to make that real world impact. And we focus on topics that involve people and their behaviors, public policy, analytics, technology, applications that can be seen in a wide variety of social. Now we have what I like to call our secret recipe for our Heinz curriculum. So regardless of the degree program, every one of our students have a core set of courses and experience that prepare them for a career in what makes a lasting impact. You would have the opportunity to work with the experts who are defining these fields actually as we speak. You're going to be exposed to faculty, staff who are running research centers like our Block Center, PwC, Metro 21, IDEA, and students are using data for the greater good to define the future of work. Courses you see here like analytics, like finance, economics, statistics, management science. Our core technology courses include topics like database, design and management, web design, multimedia. But it's not enough to have the hard skills in order to maximize success in your career. That's where the implementation comes into play. Courses like organizational management, communications, teaching you skills in negotiation, persuasion, leadership. These skills can't be learned in the classroom alone. So you need to be putting them into practice, putting them into use in a setting where you could be prepared for a real world action. And so that's what we help you do. We've got a requirement for a summer internship. All students also participate in a capstone project where you're working with a client on a real-world project in the final semester of your degree program. And while you are a student here, you are not doing things alone. You've got an entire resource of student support services, all based entirely within the Heinz College. You have your own academic advising team. We've got a disability resources team, of course, for our international students, an Office of International Education to help you through your visa requirements. But really where I think we highlight a lot of our resources comes with our Ready Career Center. You actually have a career center that is specific to the Heinz College, and each one of our degree programs has their own individual advisor to help make relationships day in and day out for our students with employers to help find internship opportunities and job opportunities. And these advisors not only manage our career opportunities, but they also manage our alumni network. And it is all about networking, right, in these fields. And so our alumni, as they graduate, continue to report back to their career advisors for job opportunities and internship opportunities for our students. We also want you to get involved on campus. We do have a whole series of graduate student organizations, including our Latino Graduate Student Association. So we want you to get involved, help continue to build your leadership skills, and also meet some others. So the first program that we're going to highlight here tonight is our Masters of Science in Public Policy and Management. And the idea here is to create, evaluate, and implement policy solutions that will impact society in a meaningful way. All three tracks of our program are eligible for STEM extension of the OPT, and quantitative abilities vary upon entry, but all MSPPM graduates do emerge from the program with a confidence in their ability to use data in problem solving. The MSPPM graduates typically will find work in public sector, including government at all levels, military, national security, the nonprofit sector, and with international agencies, NGOs, or with private consulting firms. For the flagship program in particular, it's going to teach you a firm understanding of policy in addition to technology, analytics, management skills to help you develop the right solutions and deploy them for maximum impact. At the data analytics track, analytics and IT are the focus of the curriculum, helping you to harness the power of data and analytic technologies to transform organizations that serve the public interest. And then finally, our Washington, D.C. track program will be a bit more of an experience-based curriculum where in the second year of the degree program, you actually move to Washington, D.C. and work full-time integrating policy skills to solve real complex problems. Our concentrations are optional for our MSPPM students. And so for those who want to do a deep dive into a particular field, you could choose to do so and work with a faculty leader who oversees that concentration. And here you can see a few samples of elective areas that you might be interested in: cybersecurity, policy and management, policy analysis, nonprofit management, international development. These are all great opportunities, but again, not required unless you're looking for it. And what exactly does Heinz College education prepare you for? Well, the examples on this slide will help demonstrate the wide spectrum of outcomes that our alumni have gone on to pursue after completing the MSPPM degree. Salaries for our 2023 graduates for our public policy and DC track, the average was about $74,000, with the maximum being at $120,000 US. And our Masters of Science in Public Policy and Management Data Analytics track had a little bit of average salary of over $105,000, with a maximum of $187,000 US. Pretty impressive. Next up, we'll take a look here at our Masters of Science in Information Systems and Management, which the best way to describe this program is that it is the combination between a Master's of Computer Science and an MBA in one, looking at how do you use technology to influence business decisions. And our students are the ones who are going to sit in between those who are the hardcore programmers and those in the executive level C-suite. You're able to say, I understand technology, I understand the strategy, and you're able to work with those programmers to help achieve the strategy that a senior leadership team would be trying to achieve. We have a variety of different tracks in this program. We have our traditional program, which has both a 12-month and 16-month approach. The 12-month approach is for students who have 3 or more years of full-time work experience, whereas the 16-month approach is for those with under 3 years of experience. We also have a business intelligence data analytics track, and similarly, that one has a 12-month track and a 16-month track. In addition to the rankings that you see here on the screen, I also want to highlight that we are the #1 school for information and technology management, #2 for quantitative analysis, #2 for information systems, #7 for the most innovative school, #10 for the best new hires, and also Carnegie Mellon, as you can see here, is the #1 for artificial intelligence. And we'll be bringing that back up shortly with the announcement of a new program that we've got coming. But back here to MISM, I want to share a little bit about the two programs. With the MISM degree program, it is comprehensive, durable, and flexible. That is the best way to describe it. It lays down your technology foundations, whereas Beta, what it's going to do is tell us what we can learn from the data. In both tracks, though, you'll be trained in technology, innovation, theory, application, and leadership. Our students are the drivers in their organizations. You're going to design and implement technology systems. You're going to have the ability to drive business decisions, communicate value, manage projects, and inspire others. A couple of course highlights would include distributed systems, database, organizational design implementation, managing disruptive technology, digital transformation, generative AI, data science for product managers, and software design for data science. Also within our School of Information Systems and Management, we have our Masters of Science in Information Security Policy Management. And the idea here is to learn from leading practitioners at the SEI CERT division, experts who impact national security on a daily basis. You're going to be able to move beyond the classroom and gain tangible skills through work opportunities both on and off campus, including research, teaching assistantship opportunities. And as always, you're going to have your opportunity to solve real-world problems through capstones and through our internship opportunity. With cybersecurity, the idea here is that you're focusing on risk, resilience, and management. When you're taking our degree program, students are going to have the opportunity to focus on their core and then also either choose to take a deep dive into management, policy, technology, or a mixture of all three. A couple of courses that we want to highlight for this degree program include ethical penetration testing, network defenses, cybersecurity for AI and machine learning, and privacy in the digital age. Cybersecurity, if you think about it, it is the #1 field out of every degree program that we offer that has the most jobs available. Everybody probably right now, as we are talking, has had either a hack or has had an attempt on an account that they have. Many organizations around the world, governments, as well as within the private sector, within the technology sector, are all facing cybersecurity threats. And this is the field that has the most jobs available out of any out there. So it is really a lucrative field to be in and a great one to come from because you can approach cybersecurity from such a wide background. We're focusing on people, policy, and technology. And so we're not just looking for those in the technology field, but also we've got students who come from social science backgrounds, maths backgrounds, policy backgrounds, and more. It's a great field to consider if you haven't already. Right now, I talked about us being the #1 school for artificial intelligence. And the reason I brought that particular data point up was because starting in the fall of 2025, we are extremely excited to share that we are announcing our Masters of Science in Artificial Intelligence Systems Management, and it is now open for applications. This program is also available to students who are applying through Colfatoro. We are going to be announcing this particular inaugural cohort for fall of 2025. We estimate that it will bring in about 20 to 30 students. And in particular, international students who graduate from AIM will be still eligible for the STEM extension of OPT. Please note that AIM is not available as a 16-month program. This program in particular is a 12-month program, a 1-year degree program, regardless of work experience. There is no internship component because AI is growing. It is growing fast and it needs people in the field. So we've instead enveloped a number of hands-on learning opportunities within the curriculum, including a generative AI lab, where our students are then also participating in the capstone project, and you're able to get into the job market right away. The idea here is operational skills to apply AI in different industries. You are going to be an AI deployer, strategist, and event. As I said, it is 3 semesters, 12 months long, no internship, with fixed courses and a cohort model. So it is a completely different model to our other degree programs. And in addition to the AI courses that are listed here on this slide, AIM students will take Heinz College core courses, including programming, database, statistics, and econ. You would also complete the strategy and business core, which include advanced AI and business strategy, decision-making under uncertainty, communication for influence and impact, and organizational design and impact. And of course, as I said, you're going to share that generative AI lab, applications of NLX and LLM applications, AI cloud development and operations, and AI-specific capstone project. You can use your electives to specialize then in coursework in cyber, healthcare, or consult. Now, because this is a new degree program, we expect that our outcomes will focus on these areas. Common titles would be AI governance analyst, AI business solutions analyst, AI engineer, and we expect that students will approach those particular roles in the variety of different sectors on the right hand of the screen, including finance, healthcare, consulting, research, retail or e-commerce, transportation, and technology. But across the board at all of the School of Information Systems and Management degree programs, these are the types of outcomes and employers that hire our students. For the security program, our graduates had an average salary of $116,000 US. For the MISM degree program, the average students had $112,000. And a broad spectrum of employers are on this list. These are the same employers who regularly host interns as well as host our capstone degree project. Another program that touches on the technology and analytics side would be our Masters of Science in Healthcare Analytics and IT. This particular degree program was established in 2018 and has an average class size of around 20 students per incoming class. We've been seeing a growth in applications since its inception and are excited to probably bring in about 25 students this fall. Again, Heinz has consistently been the #1 school for information technology, and applied analytics specific to healthcare is what we're focusing here. Using healthcare data to move an organization or a community or even a patient forward. Think about better care, operational efficiencies, and population health. The healthcare analytics curriculum will bring together a unique blend of analytics, technology, implementation, and healthcare industry coursework. The differentiators here are all parts of healthcare. Students are going to move throughout industry. It's going to be one degree for your entire career. And finally, you will be a more rounded individual because it sits within Heinz. The healthcare analytics degree program, these are the healthcare outcomes. With an average salary of around $103,000 US, we expect students to take data science roles for providers, pharmacies, medical devices, insurance, both in the product and entrepreneurship space. We also see students taking roles in public health, health policy for the government or nonprofits, and being the translator between the analytics team and implementation. Lastly, I want to highlight our arts management degree program and our entertainment industry management program for those who are focused on the arts. These are joint degree programs that are offered both by the Heinz College and CMU's world-renowned College of Fine Arts. We expect that the MAM program will have about 25 to 30 students in the incoming class. And there is no other arts administration program out there that has such a unique co-location of the fine arts, as well as a public policy and information systems school. With this unique treatment, our students are able to leverage the assets of both colleges, emerging with coveted skills that both arts organizations need and seek. And we apply this formula in the Heinz College treatment, right? Analytics, technology, implementation. Two schools offering two unique flavors, plus the Heinz and CFA programs add some extra spice, right? The key differentiators here is something that MAM brings to Heinz College is that unique location. When you're looking at the core, you're going to look at topics like finance, statistics, data analysis, economics, organizational design implementation, and then you'll take MAM-specific coursework that's uniquely taught through the arts and cultural lens that our MAM graduates need. The core curriculum, the Heinz and MAM core, it's about a 60% MAM core and then 40% electives, and you will still have that required internship as well as the capstone. Some popular electives that our students like to choose from include cultural policy and advocacy, public art, arts in the education, audience engagement, arts and community development, arts facility management, and advanced topics in fundraising. As far as outcomes go, it's really important to think about first the industry verticals, the types of organizations that an arts management student would study in. That would include museums and galleries, orchestras, theaters or dance companies, festivals, foundations. And then the types of roles that the students get within those organizations include general management, marketing, fundraising, operations, or artistic programming. Once again, the employers that you see here on the screen are the same ones who are constantly hiring our students, as well as sponsoring projects for the capstone and hosting interns. So what is entertainment industry management? So arts management, if you will be the nonprofit management side of the arts versus entertainment industry management being the what I'll call for-profit or Hollywood. This particular degree program is unique because our students study their first year in Pittsburgh and then move to Los Angeles in the second year of the degree program, because if you're working in Hollywood, as you know, once again, networking is extremely important, and where best to network to get into Hollywood than Hollywood itself. So our program here, it gives students the opportunity when they are in that second year to stay in California, work 4 days a week in the television, film, music, or gaming industry, and then you'll take classes on Friday and Saturday. It is a really interesting opportunity where you're then able to take Heinz core classes in finance, statistics, data analysis, economics, again, organizational design implementation, and then you'll take the MEIM specific courses that are uniquely taught through that entertainment industry lens, taught by people who are working currently in the entertainment field. And finally, you'll continue to have that summer internship and the capstone project. Once again, let's take a look at the industry verticals for our entertainment industry management students. So students will work in all aspects of entertainment: film, television, streaming, content creation, agency work, sports and video games, research, right? Our alumni have worked in all of the organizations you see here on the screen, as well as at Lionsgate, Disney, W&B, Riot Games, Sega, Sony Music, Netflix, and more. The types of roles we will continue to see students doing: development, acquisition, distribution, talent representation, research, licensing, and publishing. The titles, when our students graduate, of the types of roles, they'll go on to being executive vice presidents, creative strategy agents, a VP of business development, maybe a director of production and post-direction, director of originals, a producer, a product manager. And 80 to 90% of our graduates are employed within the industry within 6 months. Pretty incredible. Now, I talked about the capstone previously for all of our degrees, and I just want to highlight that we do have a very rich partner network that allows you to deploy and practice your experiences through that capstone. So it is required for all full-time programs except for, it is required for all of the degree programs, not except for any of them, for all of them. A great example to give you an idea of what a capstone is. So there's an organization called 412 Food Rescue. A public policy alumna created the app that connects restaurants and grocery stores with excess food to shelters and food pantries to help get the food delivered by a network of volunteer drivers, all connected through our alums' 412 Food Rescue app. So our students, for instance, worked with also the Pittsburgh Airport. They helped to develop the precursor to TSA PreCheck. For those interested in education policy, our students helped create the groundbreaking curriculum and structure for the city's Science and Technology Academy. We also have worked with organizations where we traced supply chains of counterfeit drugs and designed mobile apps to prevent their spread, and more. It is incredible the opportunities that our students get. They're working with real data, with real companies, and a lot of the time, our students will find that they get return offers out of these capstone projects. So you've heard a lot about our degree programs. We're trying to fit a lot in here in a short period of time, but what I want to do now is turn our attention to the admissions and financing your education portion. So here we're going to talk a little bit about our application process. We follow a holistic application process. What does that mean? That means that everything that you see here on the screen is used to help make a decision on your admission. There's not one thing that outweighs the other. Everything is used to help tell a story about who you are as an individual and as a student. The first thing I'd like to highlight before we even get into the details of it is that we do not charge an application fee. It is completely free to apply. And you will receive an automatic consideration for both merit-based awards and also the strategic partner awards, which we'll talk about in a minute. GRE GMAT requirements will vary per program, and I'll share that with you in just a moment. Again, that QR code, if you fill in that form, that will be able to get you all of the far details about this particular process. But let's walk through each of the individual items that we require for our students to apply to any of the degree programs at Heinz. So the very first thing that we require is an official transcript. Now, being that you may be an international student who studied outside of the United States, we will require that you have your transcript sent from an international education evaluation company. What does that mean? If you haven't explored that process yet, it means that you need to have your transcript sent from your home university to a third-party evaluation company who will convert the grades from the Colombian grading system to the US grading system. If you happen to do your education in the United States, then you just need to have your registrar send us your official transcript because it's already in the US 4.0 grading system. This allows us to have a fair and equal application review process. That can take a little bit of time. So for those of you who are already out of school, I encourage you to start that process as soon as possible. And for those of you who are still in school, you really want to start that process as soon as possible. Now, we also have letters of recommendation requirement. For the letters of recommendation, we are specifically and ideally hoping to see at least one academic and one professional letter of recommendation. Now, if you only have academic because you've never done any maybe internships or full-time work, that's perfectly fine. And if you have been out of school for 3 or more years, you're probably more likely to only have professional. And again, that is also perfectly fine. But if you're trying to kind of give variety, then I would say one academic and one professional. But make sure that the recommenders who you are actually asking to write a letter for truly know you. We don't necessarily care that they're the CEO of the company or that they, are the president of the university. We really want to make sure that they can talk about you, your skills, and what you bring to the table. When you are requesting your recommenders, you will provide us with both their name and their professional email address. And then when you hit save in our application, it will automatically send them an email asking them to complete either a letter or a form that they could fill out to provide that recommendation. Now, we do also ask for a professional resume. That resume ideally is 1 or 2 pages. It does not need to just be a 1-page resume. And we want you to share as much information as you can about your experiences. Have you done any research? Do you have any full-time work experience? What are your leadership skills? Do you have any technology skills? Any publications? All of the information is relevant, so do not miss anything out on your professional resume. We also have a requirement for an essay. That essay is about 1,000 words, and it's not asking you a particular question. It's more of a personal statement than anything. We want to know, who are you? What are you doing? What do you see yourself doing in 5, 10, 15 years from now? And how can the Heinz College help you get there? Right? The best way to write this particular essay is to be involved in the admissions process. The more questions you ask the Office of Admissions, the more information sessions that you attend, the easier it will be for you to be able to connect the dots for us and say, here are my goals and here is why I want to study at Carnegie. So that would be extremely important with your application essay. Do know that we also have an optional essay. That optional essay is there for extra or unknown information for the admissions committee. So for instance, if you have a course that you didn't do very well in, or maybe you have a gap in your resume and there's a reason behind this, you can share that information. Now we do have the GRE GMAT requirement. Please know that GRE or GMAT is required for all of our degree programs except for the arts management and the entertainment industry management. However, there are waiver opportunities, and I'll share those with you in just a minute. Then we have our English proficiency requirement. All students whose native language is not English are required to submit either a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo exam score report. If you did happen to study in the United States and you've earned or will earn your bachelor's degree within 4 years, then you would be eligible for a waiver. Otherwise, you are required to submit the TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo exam. And then finally, a video interview where it's optional but recommended. And this has nothing to do with the degree program. It is very much more a general type of interview question, something like, tell me a time you showed leadership, and you'll be able to answer that. You get a mixed bag of about 50 questions. You'll randomly be selected one of those questions, and you'll have 1 minute and 30 seconds to respond by recording your response and then uploading that to the application. So that is the admissions process. It can take a little bit of time to prepare that. So we do ask that you start as early as possible. And again, myself, as well as my colleagues here in the Office of Admissions, will all be around to help answer any questions for you as you start to go through that process. Now, we did talk about the GRE and the GMAT and how there are waiver opportunities. And so the best way to look at this particular slide is to find your particular program you're interested in on the far left, and then look across the slide. Ignore everything else that is noise for you. Now, for the GRE GMAT waiver, if you're in the policy or information security programs, you could potentially waive the GRE with having either a college algebra course with a grade of B or better, or a statistics course with a grade of B or better. We also will allow relevant work experience to potentially meet that waiver. For our public policy data analytics and healthcare analytics program, we are looking for pre-calculus with a grade of B or better, as well as pre-calculus and statistics. And then any relevant work experience could be eligible for the waiver. Finally, for the information systems and AI degree, that one, in order to be eligible for the waiver, you may not use work experience, but as long as you have an A in calculus and statistics, you could meet the waiver. Additionally, you'll see here that we do have some pre-enrollment coursework requirements. The coursework here, we have both quantitative requirements, and then some of the programs require technology. So for instance, healthcare analytics and the public policy data analytics, it requires students to have a Python course prior to enrollment. As well as for our information systems program, you'll need either an object-oriented programming or a database course. And for the AI program, you would need a Python course. We will help you work through that process, and you can get admitted without having those courses completed prior to application. These are pre-enrollment requirements, not pre-application requirements. So if you've had other programming in the past, and we see that on your transcript, you do have some of the quantitative skills. Those will be things that the admissions committee are looking for to show your ability for success in getting maybe a conditional admission, where you'd be admitted on the condition that you complete these technology courses over the summer prior to and right. So the last few slides here, I only have 3 more slides, and then we'll get into Q&A. The first thing I want to share with you is that you're not alone. We have a ton of Colombian students here at the Heinz College, and in particular, students who have been Col Futuro recipients. So I want to share with you first off, Sylvia, who is currently enrolled in our arts management degree program. And Sylvia, prior to coming to Heinz College, she was working with the Corporación Alma Teatro. So she is an arts management student. And while she has been here at Heinz, she had the opportunity to work for the Chautauqua Institute, where she was a social media and strategy intern. And she is also an extremely active student in Carnegie Mellon University's Colombian Student Organization and our Latino Student Association here at Heinz College. We also have Andres. He previously was working for BTG Practical, and now he is graduated from our MISM Beta program. When he first graduated, he was working at Visa. He is now the head of digital and analytics lab at Cementos Argos. So we are extremely proud of Andres. And then finally, another example of a graduate, MSPPM graduate, public policy, that's Alejandra. Alejandra came to us directly from undergrad without any relevant work experience. And now after completing the degree program, she is now working for the World Resource Institute as a technical analyst for the cities program in Colombia. So we're extremely proud of our alum. You can see the variety of different experiences that they all come from and the opportunities that are available to you upon graduation. All 3 of these students have offered to be able to connect with you on through LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with them and ask questions, of course, I get paid to say how great it is at Carnegie Mellon University, but they're the ones who have lived through it. So please feel free to reach out to them and our other Colombian students at Carnegie Mellon to learn about their experience. Lastly, How are you going to pay for a degree at Carnegie Mellon University? Well, we are extremely proud to have a long-standing, over 10-year relationship with Colfitoro, where students who are admitted to the Heinz College and have an affiliation with Colfitoro will automatically receive a 30% scholarship. In our online application, you will have a question where it asks, are you affiliated with one of our strategic partner organizations? On there, you'll have a drop-down list where you will find Colfitoro. As long as you list Colfitoro, you'll then automatically be eligible for that 30% scholarship. Then, after you gain admission, you then find out your results for Colfitoro. Over the summer, when we learn whether or not you are a recipient of the Colfitoro scholarship, if you are, your scholarship would then convert from a 30% scholarship to a 75% scholarship. Now, for those of you who do not receive the Colfitoro scholarship, you don't lose your 30%. That remains in place. Also know that the Colfitoro scholarship can be in addition to any merit-based scholarship. Merit-based scholarship is based on your academics and your background. So there is a question on the application that asks, would you like to be considered for merit-based scholarships or fellowships from the school? Make sure you answer yes, because if you don't, then we can't consider you for those scholarships. It's extremely important, though, that in order to be eligible for both admission and for the scholarship, that you apply by the deadline. 1 month from now, pretty much, December 2nd is our early decision deadline, and our final deadline is January 10th. Who should apply for December 2nd versus January 10th? Well, if you are already graduated from your undergraduate degree and working, you should apply for the December 2nd. That is because all your grades are available and we can start processing your application now. We can get you a decision a little bit earlier so that you can have a little bit more time to make your decision. For those of you still in school, we ask that you actually wait until the January 10th deadline. It will not be a disadvantage for you. There will still be plenty of opportunity for admission, but we want you to wait until your semester grades post, and then you can provide us with your application and the grades that are now most up to date after the holidays, after January. So we ask that those still in school wait until our January 10th final deadline to apply. If you like everything that you've seen here today, you want to learn more, there are many opportunities to do so. You can scan the QR code to get connected with our admission ambassadors. Monday through Friday, we also do offer live Zoom rooms with current students. And of course, if you want to connect with any of us here in the Office of Admissions, we also offer one-on-one appointments. We've got open house events, webinars, and more. You are all at an advantage these days with the amount of virtual programming available, so take advantage of it and join. Lastly, this is my contact information. If you have any questions, you want to connect with me, you want to get connected to any of our Colombian students, I'd be more than happy to help you. I am your direct and personal point of contact as you are going through the application process. So please do not hesitate to reach out to me or to our team so we can help you work through that application. Wonderful. Well, that's it for my presentation. I want to now take some time to answer any questions. So Karen, did we have anything come through?
David, thank you so much for all this excellent information and for this excellent presentation. Also, thank you so much for your time and your disposition. We have here a little bit of questions. So, the first one is, how do you select the 5 beneficiaries from Colfitoro who will obtain the 75% discount?
So anybody who receives the Colfitoro scholarship will automatically then convert to the 75% scholarship. It's that easy.
That's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Sarah is asking, is it mandatory for all MISM applicants to take the GRE or GMAT, or are the situations in which these exams are optional? And what scores do admitted students typically have?
Great question. So the GRE GMAT, let me give you a little bit of background about it in general for all of our programs. During COVID, we removed the requirement for the GRE GMAT. We made it optional. And in typical Carnegie Mellon and Heinz College fashion, we try to practice what we preach, and we use the data to inform ourselves on our student success. And the number of students who chose to not take the GRE and GMAT and who did not have the proper quantitative skills ended up struggling in our degree program. And the last thing that we want to do is admit a student who does not have the appropriate quantitative skills to be successful. So we reenacted the GRE GMAT policy for all programs, requiring it for all degree programs except the two arts programs. But as a MISM student or as a student in any of these programs, you are eligible to apply for the waiver as long as you have the appropriate quantitative coursework that would make you eligible. So if you are applying for MISM in particular, and you have an A in both calculus and statistics, you would then be eligible to apply for the waiver.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, Luis asks, what score is needed for IELTS and TOEFL?
Great questions. For TOEFL, we are looking, the minimum is 22 on each section, but we prefer a 25 or higher. And then for the IELTS, the minimum is 6.5, but we prefer a 7 or higher.
Perfect. Well, finally, we have here okay, Juan Jose say, I have a bachelor in computer science. I know Carnegie Mellon also has the Department of Computer Science. What is the difference between the Heinz School and the Department of Computer Science, and which cases could you recommend applied for Heinz versus computer science, specifically for my profile as a software developer?
That's a really great question. So one of the things that you probably noticed is I didn't talk about computer science at all, and that is because Carnegie Mellon is extremely decentralized. Every college manages its own graduate degree programs and has its own admissions process, admissions office, and requirements. So the School of Computer Science is separate from the Heinz College, and they have a very different set of admissions requirements and policies. Now, if you're looking to be a software developer, probably yes, the computer science department is better aligned for you. But oftentimes students are considering the Heinz College as an option. Number one, because computer science, being the #1 school in the world for computer science, is extremely competitive. But number two is you still are able to take advantage of your programming skills, but apply it in a more management and practical setting. It is the application of those programming skills. The one thing to keep in mind is that the relationship with Colfutoro is specific to Heinz College and not the School of Computer Science or our School of Business. So you do want to keep that in mind.
Perfect, David. And finally, what is the minimum GPA that university requires or doesn't apply?
Sure. So we do not have a minimum GPA. Again, we manage a holistic application review process. And so ideally, we're looking at the individual courses, we're looking at the student's experience, background, your letters of recommendation. Sure, there are going to be students who aren't admitted because their grades are lower, but we're trying to help tell a story to ourselves with everything that you provide to us. If you're really set on trying to understand grades and GPA, on our website, we do have class profiles listed for each of our different degree programs, where you can see the average GPA for the students who are current.
That's perfect, David. Thank you so much. We don't have any more questions, so thank you again for this amazing opportunity to share this information for our attendees. I really appreciate your time, your disposition and presentation, and I hope to find you in the next opportunity.
Well, thank you, Karen. Thank you to Colfutoro. It's been wonderful to spend my evening with all of you, and we'll see you out and about, and I look forward to receiving your applications.
That's perfect, David. Thank you so much.
Gracias. Thank you.
Nuestros asistentes, también muchísimas gracias por su participación en este webinar. Los invitamos a participar en todos los espacios que tenemos dispuestos para ustedes y los veo en una próxima ocasión. Muchas gracias. Thank you, David. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.